talk about preparedness a little bit. A lot of people, well, if you live in the city, a lot of people in the city and some folks that prepare are preppers or whatever, have what they call bug out bags. And that is where, especially if you live in the city, you have a bag ready that if something happens and a major event happens that you have to get out, or your life is threatened there, or the food supply is going to be gone, or all kinds of different things that could happen. And if you live in the city, maybe you want to get out of the city and get out to the countryside. And so you have a prepared bag ready to throw on. Usually it's a backpack, and you can throw it on and have some things in it that will help you get out of the city and get somewhere and have a few things available for you to last a few days till the event is over, or maybe even have to stay out there for a little while. And so you want to have certain things to help you survive. Well, we live way out in the country, and we aren't expecting to have that problem of wanting to get out. So we're going to stay in. We're not going anywhere. If something happens, we plan to stay here because we have stuff here. We're prepared here for a disaster. And by that, I mean we could have a tornado, an earthquake. We live on the New Madrid Fault, so we could have a big earthquake anytime. And all kinds of other events that could happen. We had the ice storm back several years ago that was pretty bad, that the electricity was out for like 10 days, and we weren't preparing as much then as we are now. And that's one reason we're preparing now, is because we lived through that event and we know how hard it was. But my bag, I have a bag, but I keep it in the back of my car, in the trunk of my car. And I call it a bug home bag, because if I'm out and an event happens and I'm out in my car and something happens, I can't get home for some reason, like say there's an earthquake and the road's all tore up and I can't get home, I have a bag that I'm going to strap on, backpack, I'm going to strap on, and I have tennis shoes, and I'm going to put on my tennis shoes and strap on my backpack and make my way home. And when we first started really trying to keep stuff at home, we keep water stocked up, and we keep a lot of things in our pantry that are quick, easy meals that don't even have to be cooked, and things like that we keep, so that if something happens, we have stuff on hand here at home. And Lee is very resourceful. He is a survivor. He should be on one of those survival shows, because he can make his own tools and go right out back and get us something to eat, guaranteed. So we'd rather be here. So I'm going to show you my bug home bag. Now, like I said, I keep tennis shoes in the back of my car, so I can put on my tennis shoes, grab my bag, and hoof it home. And I also keep a blanket back there, so if it's cold weather, I've got a blanket, or I can grab it and take it with me and use it on the ground to lay down if I need to lay down, because let's face it, I ain't going too far in the shape I'm in all at one time. I'm going to be resting a lot to get home, but that's okay as long as I make it home. So I'll open this up and show you a few things I have in here. And I just have watched over the years, and I've added to this. I didn't have near as much stuff at first when I first started it. I've added a lot as I go along. When I think of something or see something on another channel or somewhere that somebody says, oh, I've got this in my bag, and I'm like, yeah, that would help me out. So just things that you can buy at the dollar store cheap, or you may have at home. And I have not spent a lot of money on this at all, I promise you. I have nail clippers. I have nail clippers and nail file, and there's all kinds of uses that might come in handy for. If nothing else, I can use the nail clippers to cut things like a knife, which I have a knife in here too, but you know, tweezers to get out splinters, a flashlight with batteries. I picked up several of those at the dollar store. I think I have 2 or 3 of them in here. Or maybe there's dust, maybe there's smoke, something. I keep some face masks just in case. Plenty of these little packs of Kleenex. Here's some ointment that I made. It's a healing ointment called Neosporin, but this is homemade that I made. I'll show you that sometime or another how I made that. A kitchen knife. I've got several knives in here because you just never know. If somebody comes after me, I'm going to stab them with every knife I have. Washcloths. These are just old cloths where my washcloths were tearing up, and I just went ahead and ripped them up and threw them in here, just so I've got plenty of rags. Oatmeal. A couple of packs of instant oatmeal. And you can see I put a lot of this stuff in plastic baggies in case it's raining or something like that. I get wet. This is just like a first aid kit, but something has spilled. So, good reason to go through every once in a while and check out your stuff. I'm going to take that out and clean that all up. Here is a pack. I probably need more of this, but I didn't put a whole lot in here because I didn't want to, because we love this and I didn't want to have it sitting in my trunk forever. But it would keep. This is Lee's homemade deer jerky, and I put just a little bit in a pack. That would get me through at least until I could maybe build a fire and fix something to eat. Some bandanas. That might be good for just to use for handkerchiefs or rags, or pull my hair back, or whatever, bandages. Tea bags. I guess I'm gonna make tea when I'm trying to get home. I don't know. Not sure why I have that in there, but there's tea bags. Sponges. I had seen this somewhere on another video where a guy took a piece of the sponge and used it to filter out some water. And also another guy that took a sponge and laid it out and let the dew collect in it for water. And so I grabbed a pack and threw in there. This was at the dollar store, real cheap. So I just got a whole ball of string and threw in there. Then help me make a shelter or tie something up, or you know, whatever. Fishing line, all kinds of uses for that. Ah, there's my tin cup. My tin cup that I'm gonna make tea or noodles or something in. A bottle of tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is, to me, one of the most wonderful oils. It's antiseptic, antibacterial, wonderful stuff. Tea tree oil. Sugar packets for my tea. I love my hot tea. And if I'm out in the woods trying to get home and I'm gonna have to sit down for a little while, I can find something to put in this little ball to make hot tea out of. I just showed a video the other day. I've done a video that I will tag here where I made Liberty tea out of goldenrod, and there's like all kinds of other wild things out there that you can make tea out of, and some of them are medicinal, so that's a good thing to have is my tea ball. Can opener and a bottle opener, that could come in handy. I might have a can of food in here, or I wouldn't loot, but by golly, if I saw somebody that had looted, yes, I would take their can. Lighter. I have several lighters. I do not smoke, but I am going to start a fire to have my hot tea. Still works. Good deal. Wet rock. This is wet rock. I have several knives in here, and I might have to sharpen my knife, especially if I have to stab somebody. Let's see what's over on this side. I have a couple of newspapers rolled up. That's to kind of get a fire started or something. I'll take my lighter and light it. Add me a little bit of wood, shove that under there, and fire starters. Because I have bought me a fake Leatherman. I couldn't afford the real Leatherman, so I bought this fake Leatherman and put in there. It has a screwdriver and a knife and all kinds of things there on that. So this is a homemade knife, Lee made. He is a flint knapper. He makes arrowheads and does an awesome job, and he makes tools and different things out of his Native American crafts that he makes. That's right there is as good as any knife I've got in my backpack. Okay, and this is the last item I have in my backpack, and I have it all wrapped up in a couple of bags because I didn't want this to get wet at all. And in here I have pen and paper in case I need to leave a note. This is a herb identifier book that has all the wild plants, and there is a lot of good information in there. And in the back of this I keep cash just in case, some inspiration to keep me going and help me to remember one of the reasons I need to get home, my kids, my daughters. One of the most important things, probably the most important thing, is a Bible. And that's good for many, many things. The unrest in our country and the weather changes and things that are happening nowadays, I would really recommend that everybody have a bag with things like this in it. And you need to customize it to yourself, because, you know, maybe things you like. You might not want no tea in yours, but I want tea in mine. You may not want salt and pepper in yours. And there may be other food that you want in yours, or, you know, but I highly recommend putting a Bible in there, because that's a very important thing, in my opinion. In a big city, you need one in your house for a bug out bag in case you have to leave unexpectedly for some reason. If you don't live in a big city, have a bag in your car in case something happens. It's a snowstorm and you run off the side of the road and you need to get out and walk somewhere, or you like I said, an earthquake and the road's all tore up, tornado and the road's all tore up, or there's a tree across the road and you have to get out and walk somewhere or walk home. It's a good idea to have some kind of bag that you have just at least a few things in, a few things, especially, you know, a knife and a flashlight and some kind of food. Jerky is a good option. You know, you don't have to have all of this stuff, but even if it's just a small bag and you have a few things in it. Thanks for watching. Y'all give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and keep watching.